Alright, so for this one, I do apologize for the strange camera angle, but what we're going to do, I'm going to give you the pro tip first. Use an empty box when you're doing this work, because that way you'll stay married or you'll stay employed. This will help you to clip all of your clippings into, and you can just toss those rather than getting them all tangled up in the carpet and inevitably going into somebody's foot. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to terminate Cat 6. I'm going to use Cat 6A, okay? It's going to future-proof it for 10 gig later on down the line. But what we're going to do is we're going to put on an RJ45 connector. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. What you're going to need is something to to cut the cable housing. You're going to need something to trim your cables and a crimp tool of sorts. I'm going to use a pass-through type. It does have a cutter on here, you can see right there, okay, and that'll help to crimp and cut, trim the cables on the inside all at the same time. Let's take a look and see what you got. Yeah, here we go. So grab your first little tool here. It's just got a razor blade on the inside. It also does have a punch down tool here, but we're not going to use that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a generous amount. You can see that the RJ45 is only, maybe it's about an inch or so. I'm going to cut back maybe about 3 inches or so of the housing. And that's mostly because what we're going to do is we're going to try to, there we go, we're going to try to shove as much of this through and double check and pull as tight as we can through the RJ45 connector itself. So what you'll see, because it's Cat 6A, it's got a core, plastic little T-shaped core separating all the twisted pairs. It's also got a nylon pull. You can use this to pull against the jacket, and it'll help you strip it back quicker, but I find it to be just in the way, so do what everyone else does and just cut it off. Okay, work over your box so you toss your garbage in there. Also, you can get rid of your little T-shaped thing. Be careful not to mar the cables on the inside. Whoops, dropped it right on the carpet. That's a fail. And here's kind of a pro tip. I like to use the jacketing to start to untwist these pairs. It'll help out really quickly. What you do is just find the end and then squish, and it'll go right on down. Okay, it's a very fast way to do it. Save your fingernails in the long run. And you'll see I'm starting with the orange first. It's just kind of a habit of mine because that's going to be we're going to put that into pin 1 and pin 2, and then blue is going to come, but we're going to interrupt that with the green, so it doesn't really matter from that point forward. It's just kind of a force of habit of mine. And see, this jacket untwist does not work all 100% of the time, but most of the time it does. Last is going to be our white, brown, and brown, and get that done. Okay, from this point forward, we're going to try to straighten them out as best we can, and kind of the tip that I have for that is just kind of bend them and twist them and do your thing like this. They don't have to be perfect, because after all, we're going to crimp them into the cable, so, but we are going to get them straightened up. We're going to twist and bend until we get there. Now, the order does matter, okay, so we are going to start with white. White is always, like in chess, it's going to be white goes first. So white is your first move in this case right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with white, and it's going to be the orange first. White, orange, and then followed by orange. Then we're going to do white, green, followed by, you would think, green, but in this case, what we're going to do, because they work on transmit and receive pins, and they are different, we're going to go with the solid blue. So white, green, and then white, blue, and then follow that by white, blue, and green. So my microcontroller guys out there in the audience, you understand TX and RX, it basically works the same way. And I'm going to have to trim back that little cross just a little bit farther. So here we go, over the box. Don't drop that on the carpet. Okay, so I have white, orange, orange, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, and then comes white, brown, brown. Now from this point forward, we're going to keep that order, and we're going to pull and twist straighten it out. Okay, there we go. And here's kind of the pro tip here. Double check the order of them once more. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hang on to them. We're just gonna pinch them lightly. Don't cut them off yet. But once you've pinched them lightly in your cutoff tool, make sure they're all in the right order. And when they are in the right order, orange, white, orange, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, white, brown, brown, cut them off. Now, that's sizably longer than what I would do for a non-pass-through type RJ45. So what I'm going to use is a pass-through type, and you can see it's got holes in there. So these wires are going to come out the other side. Whoops, I'm putting it on backwards. No, I'm not. Sorry about that. Okay, and make sure that the tang is down and orange is to the left in this case. And those are going to pop right out the other side, giving us a chance to double check our work. Take it nice and slow. Push that jacket all the way up in there, and let's double check. We've got white, orange, orange, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, white, brown, and brown. That's the standard we're hoping for today. So now, take our cutoff tool, our crimper, set it in, and over the box. Looks like success to me. Now, pull that out. Come on, sometimes they can be a bit finicky coming out. Just be gentle with them. Make sure there aren't any burrs or anything like that. In this case, I do have a little bit of a plastic cut that I made, and we're going to do from here forward. So we're going to use our tester tool. I'm going to plug that in here, and on the opposite end of the same cable, we'll plug it into the remote connection, and we'll do that one later. Because right now, I got to go to lunch, and I'm actually going to terminate it with a different style connector on the other side. So unfortunately, you won't be able to see the tester in action, but yeah, you've got yourself a functional RJ45 crimped connection on Cat 6A.